Today I want to talk to you about making money with your intuition, because there's so much that I can talk to you about on this topic. I literally did a TikTok video a couple of days ago on this, and it's just blown people's minds. So I've been making money in my business from my intuition since day one. I've literally been making money in my business without business skills, without learning about business from day one. Why? Because there is nothing that can outperform or outbeat your intuitive power. Most people, and this is the problem that I see all the time, and why people come to me for readings and to work with me, is because I have intuitive powers within myself, but I also sense other people's intuition. So I can also guide you and tell my clients what their intuition is trying to speak to them, because most people have lost that connection to their own intuitive power. This is so important if you're a spiritual being trying to build a spiritual business or an intuitive creator, because intuition is the very thing that will lead you to your success, that will lead you to where the money's at. But if you are blocked from your logical mind, which is also known as the ego, then you're not going to be able to access your intuition. And even when your intuition tries to speak to you, you're not going to listen to it. And this is a big problem. So let's get into it. So your intuition is basically like a muscle, right? That's the first thing that I want to cover over here. There's going to be about 3 to 4 points. The first point being intuition is like a muscle, which doesn't get talked about enough. Most people are like, oh, intuition is the sixth sense. And like, I know, like I've heard of it and I chuck it around of, oh, my intuition guided me this one time, or this two things that happened in my life. And it's like, no, intuition is like a muscle. You have to train it just like you train a muscle at the gym. So are you training your intuitive power? How do you do this, Janie? Okay, so with intuition, trace back to any specific time where you felt either a body sensation, a nudge from inside, or a download, like a thought that just dropped into your headspace. You don't know where it came from, but you know that it's definitely not something that you had to force yourself to think about. It's not something that you had to force yourself to do. It just happened. That's usually what intuition feels like, right? It just lands into your body. It drops into your body somehow. That's your intuitive sense. That's your intuitive, your inner muscle, right? Your inner seeing. It doesn't have to be, and there's so many different psychic senses. I've done another video on this, I think. Oh no, that was inside one of my courses. Anyway, I'll do another video. Drop a comment if you want one, but the different psychic senses. So I don't know why I'm talking so fast today. Anyway, I'm on my period. Let me just chill, ground, relax. Breathe. Okay. Very excited, as you can tell. So if your intuition is like a muscle, and people who are bodybuilding, people who do muscle training, they go and they take themselves to the gym every day, whether they feel like it or not. They have those days where they're like feeling shitty, they want to eat a bit of junk food, they're like, I can't be bothered to take myself to the gym. But if they've got goals, and if they're disciplined humans like you watching this are, because I invite disciplined humans who want to be something and to be of impact, then we have to be disciplined to some degree, right? We have to do that to reach a goal. We also have to be disciplined with our intuition. So if you're in the money-making business like I am, or you want to make more money, or you want to start making money, whatever the thing, you want to connect with your intuition. If your intuition is like flaky or shaky, then you might have flaky or shaky money coming in too, because your money is only as strong as your intuition, right? And how strong is your connection to your intuition? The stronger your connection to your intuition, the more that you take action on that, the more your money starts to come in and the more your money starts to grow, because you trust. And that's the key part here. This is moving me on to number 2, is that the second part of making money with your intuition comes to deep, deep trust. Now, this is trust in 2 things: yourself, which is you actually being open and able to receive the downloads, to receive your intuitive messages. And the second one is trusting the universe, God, source, divine energy, whatever it is that you label it as. They're all the same thing to me, in my opinion. They are all just the same flipping name for the same energy. And it's an energetic thing of, we cannot understand what it is logically, but it feels right here. That's your faith. Whatever your faith is, it does not matter. I believe in universal principles. So I use the laws of the universe and spirituality and like the divine universe, and like just us being the divine, right? The divine being within us. So in that sense, I'm trusting myself because I trust the divine. And it's a 2-way thing. It's like, if I trust myself, I'm trusting the divine to channel through me as and when it needs to, and also to trust that the universe is always listening to you, and it's always going to give you better than what you actually want for yourself. But you just cannot see that with your eyes. I'm going to give you an example of this. I might have thought, oh, I want to do this job, and like I put myself in that thing and I don't get it. But right around the corner, the universe can see a couple of jobs down the road is like an amazing job that's double or triple the salary of what I was thinking would be good for me. And the universe blocked me from that because it could see the better situation. But for me, I could have sat there and blocked the universe from delivering that to me if I sat there and went, oh no, like no jobs come to me, blah, 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 blah. And then my vibration starts to filter down. And then the universe, which is a mirror of who we are being, shows me, yeah, actually, you do not get jobs because that job was lined up for you, but you just decreased your thought process and you just dropped into this low frequency energy, which is why your manifestation then was about to come to you and you just like went off track. So again, this is why it's important. Train your muscle. It's like the same thing with the gym. And I keep coming back to the gym analogy because it's so easy. And also I am an ex-personal trainer. So I love everything fitness, even though I've put on so much weight after pushing out baby, but I'm getting back on it now. So in the gym, yes, you might reach your fitness goals, which I've done before, but clearly I've let it go. And so what happens when you let things go? You gain things back, right? You're not in that same body because why? You left the discipline and you left putting in the work and you focused your efforts somewhere else. Like I prioritize my child and me in terms of like just feeding my body, like all the stuff that I needed to because I was going through so much trauma at the time. Now I'm not so much. I've got a soulmate, I've got my home, I've got my business, I've got all the good things happening. So now I can focus and bring that discipline back into my body. So again, the same thing with your intuitive muscle when it comes to money. If you are not focusing on disciplining yourself to bring your muscle training back in all the time, that's how your money game is going to look. And this is important in business because I didn't know this 5 years ago. Like I was literally just like in and out. My intuition, sometimes I'd listen to it, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes it would just be like, I'm not feeling like it, so I'm not going to bother. Today, for this video as well, the same thing happened. I'm on my period. It's day 2. It's so heavy, but it doesn't actually take away energy from me because I've had a massive chill this whole morning. I've rested, I've nourished my body, I've eaten avocado, like I've given my womb space what it needs. I've had a cry with my soulmate, like we've had an in-depth conversation. Like I've done everything for my body. And the 10-15 minutes of my day to come here and share with you guys, like my wisdom, that's not taken away from me. It actually gives me energy. And so again, it's like the discipline of I told myself I'm going to commit to showing up here on my YouTube channel every single day because I've been making excuses for myself. And so I'm calling myself out and showing you how this looks in real time. Because if you've been on my following for a while, you know that I dip in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's been my MO. And now I'm changing that. So I'm showing you. And the reason I'm mentioning it in this video is because you can then hold me accountable. And I'm holding myself accountable by sharing it to you. So you can literally be like, she's full of shit if I one day don't show up. And I promise you, showing up for me doesn't just mean video. Like if I'm not going to show up, I will let you know in the post in the community section. So those of you who are not there yet, again, you guys can actually post in there now, which I didn't realize. So if you haven't tried that out, try it out because I just want to see like what that looks like. But apparently it's more than just commenting. You can actually post stuff. Like I think it's like literally how it works in Facebook. So curious how that's going to work, but it'll be interesting to see. And that's going to be like where I post my shit. Like if I'm actually physically sick, then yeah, I'm going to look after my body because I don't want to come here and be like, I'm sick, guys. I don't think you guys want to see that. And I don't think that's me nourishing my body. So obviously train your muscle, but obviously when you're reaching that point of like you're sick, you're ill, you're burnt out, your immune system's dying, then obviously that's the universe telling you to just take a step back. So again, treat it like the muscle, treat it like the gym. Like sometimes, yes, there'll be periods, but it doesn't mean you're dropping off your discipline, complete 360 or 180 like we always tend to do. And then we just don't get back on. Like, no, you have to be disciplined enough. I always go by the 80-20 rule. I like the 80-20 because 80% of the time, if you can make yourself disciplined, you have 20% of the time to be not disciplined, to let yourself off, like be free, just, relax. Like it's not that deep. But if you want those goals, if you want to reach a certain amount of income in your business, or you want to reach that weight loss journey, you want to manifest your soulmate, then there are certain things you have to be disciplined in. And I've realized this, like every manifestation that I've done, it's either a solid standard or a boundary that I've had to set and get really strong with. Like when it was my soulmate, it was like, I'm not settling for less than I deserve. Like that was the standard that I really had to set on an energetic, emotional, vibrational level. And I had to be disciplined to follow that through and not entertain those people. So it cannot just be words. It has to be an emotional, charged, actual feeling. And then the discipline to follow that through. And now the same I'm noticing on my social media. I've been on and off for like 5 years now. And I've grown accounts like 12,000, 10,000 on TikTok, Instagram, and now on here. But again, every time I pull back, I'm like, why am I pulling back? And I pull back for 6 months, like 3-6 months, sometimes like longer. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, no, be disciplined because I'm not making an impact and I'm not helping people every time that I do that. And my mission is to serve my people. And I cannot do that if I keep showing up in this in and out type of energy. It's not helping anybody, is it? So again, this is like me half having a pep talk with myself, but also showing you, Your intuition needs discipline as well. It's not like this spiritual thing where it's just like, yeah, we're just feminine and blah, blah, blah. It's like the most successful people that you see who are giving you this content, why are they successful? Not because they're chilling on a beach. That comes after. But what are they constantly doing even while they're chilling on a beach? They're filming. They're showing you content. They're physically taking action to put out their pieces of content for you to watch. So are you creating content and putting it out there, or are you just consuming? Because consumers are the ones who pay the creators. So think about that. If you want to make money from your intuition is going to guide you to create something. It's going to guide you to create entertainment, value, a product, a service, whatever the thing, art, anything, a community, it can be anything. But the downloads that will drop through you, we are all meant to be creators on this planet. If you are wanting to make money from your intuition, it will guide you to create something. This can even be jobs. Like, it doesn't have to be business. Some of you might be like, I want to manifest this dream job. That's absolutely fine. Again, within that job space, you might be asked to increase your identity to that level of you can create other things now that maybe you didn't have the skill for before. So again, if you want an increase in your money, again, are you increasing your skill? Are you increasing your value in yourself? Like, these are all really important things that I want you to really think about. If you're on that journey, if you're halfway through and you're kind of like, oh, you've hit a stagnation point, stagnation keep coming through, like came through in yesterday's video. But the key takeaway that I want to say when it comes to making money from your intuition is, one, it is like a muscle. You have to train it as such. Keep that at the back of your mind and train it every day. That means reading books. Like I am actually a 6'2" projector in human design, which means my 2 line, those of you who know, is basically I can't see my natural gifts, but apparently there are some natural gifts in a 2 line that you're just good at. You don't need to learn it. So I didn't actually need to learn my intuition. It was like innate in me. And so I just tuned into it. I don't know how I've done that. It just tuned in. That's why I've done tarot readings, psychic readings across the UK. Like, all of that stuff just came naturally to me. But there are people who will need to learn it. So I also have books on my shelf. Like, when it comes to stuff that I'm not naturally gifted at, I will go and get a book. Like, you can see, like right there. I also have a psychic book on there. So I will still dabble. And again, this is how you connect deeper into your intuition, right? By learning. How does your intuition speak to you? Human design is a good thing. Like, you go check that out. There's so many YouTubers who are teaching that. I teach it in some of my courses as well with my offers. But again, this is literally the key. I love learning. And I think that's another important thing of your intuition will always guide you to learn more, grow more. And if you're not throwing yourself into those spaces, then you're going to be stagnating or you're not growing. So then don't question, why is my money not growing? That's why. Because are you growing? Are you throwing yourself into new situations? Are you making yourself uncomfortable to the point of like it's stretching you so that you can grow, right? We have to do these things. So again, intuition is, again, as well, it's like there are layers to intuition. Like, my intuition's got stronger and weirder in a weird way, as in like it comes through differently. So sometimes it will come through like flashes and visions, and sometimes, most of the time, it's just a knowing of like, yeah, I just know things. Sometimes it will come through my body. All sorts of different types of ways that you can tap in and connect, right? Sometimes it will just come through as like, yeah, I just know I need to do this thing. And like, at the time I'm taking action, I'm doing it, and it doesn't even make sense. Like, when I got this, I was on the curly hair journey, never had a curly haircut in my life, booked a new one in like this salon, like not even near me, right? Because there was a salon down the road that did it, and I was just like, no, I need to go to this other one for some reason. Again, this doesn't make logical sense. There was one that was 30 minutes down the road from me in the car, and 30 minutes back, and there was one that was like a 5-minute walk down the road, and I decided to go for the 30-minute one away. No logical sense around why. Like, it was even cheaper to go to the one near me, but I chose no, I'm going to go to that one, and I don't even know why. Ended up going to the salon. The lady who was doing my hair was actually the director, the founder of the company, that it was her salon. And I just talked, she was just like, what do you do for business? I was like, I do astrology readings, I do psychic stuff, I teach spiritual business, I teach people how to be themselves and get paid online, like all of that stuff. And then she was just like, oh, and then I just did a little brief, tiny, and when I say brief, literally like under 5 minutes of like her astrology chart and what that means for her and her husband. Obviously never met the lady, so she was just shocked. She was like, oh my God, everything you've said is spot on. And she told her entire team, they've invited me back and I'm going there to host for them now, like a circle, and it's paid. Like, literally out of the blue, again, me just trusting my intuition. Had I gone to the salon down the road, that would have not happened, because I've already been to that salon. Nothing ever came of it. So there was a reason why I was being called to that salon. And even though it made my logic kicked in going, Janie, it's cheaper here, why don't you just go here? I was just like, no, my intuition, I don't know why. And that's the key part as well that I want you to pay attention to, is when your intuition speaks to you, it will not make sense. And you might even fight it. Your logic might come in with all the reasons why you shouldn't be going to that one. And you have to be the one to decipher, is my intuition guiding me somewhere good, or is it just trying to cock block me? Like, that is the thing that happens as well. So Really, really important when you're investing in coaches, when you're investing in your business, when you're investing and just throwing yourself into whatever the thing is, always, always, always practice coming back to asking yourself, is this my intuition or is it my logic? Is this my intuition or is this my logic? Your logic is your thought process, right? This is stuff that makes sense. Your intuition usually tends to not make so much sense up here. Like I gave you the example of the curly hair cut would make more sense to pay less and go nearer home, right? Makes less sense to go further away from home and pay more. No sense. But intuition doesn't make sense. But what landed was what I paid for my hair, that was tripled from that lady booking in with me with her entire team for like an astrology and tarot evening. So goes to show like intuition is always making me money. And that's like my belief system that I'm like passing through to you now. So embrace it, work with it. Drop me a comment if you have any questions around this and you want me to go deeper and deeper and deeper into any part of it, let me know. But the key thing is, please start using your intuition to make money and forget about your logic. Your logical mind will take you down the gutter and will keep you so stuck versus expanding through intuitive money. It's like the best way to make money. And it's looked after me for about coming up to like 5-6 years now. So trust your intuition. It's the best thing for you. It will keep you in the best relaxed, fun vibes because it's so fun fucking working with you. Like when that opportunity landed, it was just like a surprise for me because I wasn't expecting it. So I love when money shows up for me that way. And I'm just like, this is so exciting. Like, yes, when sales come through my business, that's exciting too. But it's just a different level when opportunities flow to you and you're like, I was just looking after myself and giving myself some TLC and like tender loving care and like looking after my hair. And it's like, boom, in my face, money. I'm just like, cool, love it. Very exciting. Subscribe if you like this video and I will catch you in my next one. Mwah.